Hello and thank you for joining me. Today I have 5 great budget knives from Tenable Knives. Now if you guys don't know, Tenable Knives is the budget line of concept knives, very similar to Civivi and Sencut. One main thing that I really like about the Tenable Knives is that Concept took their quality, which I think they do a great job on their concept knives. They took that quality and put it into their budget line. I don't know how they're doing it, but I am not going to complain. As you can see, I have quite a few knives to go through, so I'm going to quickly go through each model and let you know the materials and what you're getting on that model. And then I'll talk about the ergos and some of the dislikes. But we're going to start off with the Model 6. Now this was a concept design. They went ahead and made a budget version. But on the Tenable Knives Model 6, you get G10 scales, you get full steel liners, a G10 backspacer, a very deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible. You get dual thumb studs that are a little bit different than your standard thumb studs. These are stepped and have a triangular shape to them. The blade steel on this knife is 14C28N, so great budget steel, sharpens easily, holds an edge fairly well. The blade is riding on bearings, and I think, yeah, all these knives are riding on bearings. This is an Axis style lock knife. And we'll move on to the Beaver. This one just dropped about 2 weeks ago, I think. But I really like the finish on the aluminum. I think Tenable's doing a great job. So you can see very clean, no bumps, no scratches. So beautifully done by Tenable. You do have full steel liners, which are coated black. Black G10 backspacer. A reversible deep carry pocket clip. Again, not leaving the lefties out. You have dual thumb studs for deployment. The blade is riding on bearings, and you do get a beautifully stone washed Nitro V steel blade. And I think Tenable just started using Nitro V, which I think is great. I love that steel. Again, a great budget steel, sharpens easily, holds an edge very well. But that is the Beaver. Next up we have the Fermi, and this model comes with white G10 scales, full steel liners, which are coated black. You do have a deep carry pocket clip. It comes with dual thumb studs for deployment. It is riding on bearings, so really smooth action. You do have a 14C28N steel blade, which is coated black. Again, a great budget steel, and I do like that they give you a pivot collar, which is, I believe, black coated aluminum, and the hardware is all black, so you do have that Stormtrooper look. Very, very nice contrast. That is the Fermi. Next up, we have another new model that just dropped a couple weeks ago. This is the Eaglestrike. As you can see, they have really, really cool milling done to the coated aluminum scales. So you do have full steel liners. Do have a, I want to say a titanium backspacer because I know the pocket clip is titanium. This is a Axis style lock knife. Now, one thing I noticed on this model is that the pocket clip is not reversible. And I quickly want to mention that all these models come with different blade finishes and different scale materials on the handle. So again, they provide you with a variety of different colors or choices, flavors, if you will. But getting back to the Eaglestrike, you do have all black hardware. So again, you have that really nice contrast against that green, which I think looks really, really good. You don't really see green that often, but I think they pulled it off very, very well. You do have dual thumb studs for deployment, which works really, really good. The blade does ride on bearings, and super, super smooth. Thumb flick works great. Reverse flick works great as well. But you do get a Nitro V steel blade. Again, a great budget steel, and I do like their black wash finish. I'm a sucker for stone wash or a black wash finish. I don't like just the regular coating, because as soon as you scratch it, you can notice it. But with the stone wash, it hides. And I do like these vents or these gills. Definitely add some character to the blade. I believe they also provide a blade that doesn't have this, so a lot more clean look. That is the Eaglestrike. Next up, we have a really chunky, solid knife. And if you guys recognize that logo, this is a design by Midgard's Messer. So if you guys don't know, they make really chunky, beefy knives, and they definitely hit the mark on this one. and provided you with a beefy, chunky knife. So this is the Bömbur. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is the Bömbur. So you can see right here, they spell it a certain way. But this comes with frag pattern textured black G10 scales. You get full steel liners. You get a full titanium backspacer and a really interesting titanium pocket clip, which is not reversible, but I find it interesting that they went with a fully milled out clip, I guess to lighten it since this thing is already very, very chunky, which is very unique. I haven't really seen something like this before, and I like it. But you do get a chunky blade of steel here, which is made of D2, which is a great budget steel. And for the price point, I can't really complain. Now they do give you 2 fullers to deploy this blade, or this hole right here to deploy it, which works very well with your thumb, but it is difficult to reverse flick with the hole, even though I just did it. But the fuller works great for the reverse. I get it every time. And you can actually use the fuller to use your thumb to deploy this knife as well. It is writing on bearings, so really, really smooth. And again, I love this thing. But now that we talked about the materials, let's start back at the beginning with the Model 6. And I'm going to go through some of the things that I really like and some of the dislikes on each model. So the Model 6 has great action, easy access to those thumb studs, or those stepped thumb triangular studs. I don't know if there's a name for those, but if you guys know a specific name for those, let me know down below. But love the action on this thing. Now, the ergos on this thing are really, really good. Again, you have a pretty neutral design, so everything locks in beautifully. There's really no hot spots. I can feel the pocket clip, but it's not terrible, and it kind of just hides away nicely. The reverse grip on this is very comfortable as well. Overall, I think it's great. Again, all these knives are at a great price point, so if you end up losing one, you're not really going to take that big of a hit. My only issue with this is the thumb studs. They're kind of sharp. Again, it's not terrible. I'm just used to regular thumb studs, but it's really the only gripe with this knife. Other than that, awesome, awesome knife. The Beaver is just as good. Thumb studs work really, really good. Reverse flick works great. Thumb works really good. And the ergos are excellent. Really no hot spots. That pocket clip hides very, very well. Reverse grip is just as good as the regular grip, and I love the action on this thing. Glassy smooth. And quickly before I forget, I just want to let you guys know that every Axis style lock that Tenable or Concept makes, or as of lately, you can adjust the tension with the Omega spring. So you can see right there that off that glare, you can see those 3 holes. It's hard to get on camera, but you can adjust the Omega springs, which I think is great. I think this is set perfectly, fires right out. Really no issues. Speaking of issue, the only issue I have with this knife is some of the sections of the knife are pretty sharp. I can feel them in my hand. Again, not terrible, but it's just something that I can pick up on in my hand. Other than that, really, really great. Love this thing, and I really love that red. They did a really great job with their coating. As for the Fermi, I really, really love this design. The action is amazing. Access to those thumb studs are placed, I'd say, perfectly where they need to be. So reverse flick works great. Thumb stud works great. Again, riding on bearings, super smooth. And I love the access to the liner lock. They give you plenty of room, which I do have the premium version. So this is the Fermi from Concept. Titanium scales, inset liner. Unfortunately, access to this liner isn't easy. So you can see there's no cutout like the Tenable budget version. You can see there's plenty of space. This one, however, does not have it. So that is the feature that I really like on the budget version. Ergos on it are really, really good, and they do give you a very large sharpening choil where you can choke up on it and get really close to that cutting edge for those more controlled cuts. Reverse grip is just as good. Thumb lands on that flat spot beautifully, and really no hot spots with this one. Even with that pocket clip, it just really vanishes. You can see this, it's not as high as some companies go. And there's no jimping on the spine, but since the thumb lands on that perfectly, it just fits in the hand like a glove. I guess really the only issue I have with this knife is, I guess, the coating. There's nothing wrong with the coating. I just prefer a black wash, but beautifully done. I know the recurve is an issue to some people, but I've never really had an issue sharpening a recurve on a knife, so I guess those are two things that aren't the greatest about this knife, but overall, really, really great budget knife. Now moving on to the Eaglestrike. I really love this thing. Again, I love the green. The coating is done very well. The action is really, really good. Again, this is adjustable with those Omega springs. Thumb flick works great. Reverse grip works really, really well. Again, writing on bearings. Ergos on this thing are super comfortable, and you can choke up on this front section here. I know you do have that sharpening choil, but it's kind of a tight spot, but you can choke up on this flat section. And you do get some jimping here on this ramp, which actually feels really, really good. I love the texture on the scales. Really bites into your skin in a good way and kind of locks it in and keeps it from slipping out of your hand. Reverse grip is just as good, just like all the other ones. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it, but some reverse grips aren't comfortable on some knives. But so far, these are all really, really good. And that pocket clip melts in hand. Again, this is a mill titanium clip. Really no hot spots. And I don't really have anything negative to say about this knife. But I'd say out of all these, this is probably one of my favorites. That is the Eaglestrike. And last but not least, the Bömbur. I think this is a great, solid knife, especially for the price point. Very chunky. So if you have large hands or are a fan of chunky knives, I would highly recommend this one. It's definitely a beast. It's got some weight to it, but I believe they made it as light as possible everywhere else. You can see that the liners are skeletonized, so they removed a lot of weight there, especially with the titanium backspacer and the really nicely milled pocket clip, which works beautifully, by the way. Ergos on this are really, really good. You do have some nice jimping that really bites into the skin of your thumb. You can choke up behind that sharpening choil to get, again, those controlled cuts. Reverse grip is just as comfortable. I like how the thumb rounds over on this back section. It makes it very, very comfortable. And I gotta say that frag pattern is extremely grippy. Like it really, really digs into your skin. Again, in a very good way. Access to the liner is excellent. They definitely give you enough room. You do have quite a few options to deploy this blade, but they all work great. So thumb with the hole works great. Reverse flick with the hole is a little tricky, but you can kind of get it. But the fuller works great for the reverse. As you can see right there. Fuller with the thumb works great, and you can front flip this thing if you get it just right. A little wrist flick, but even without the wrist, you can get it out as well. Again, and it's due to that really grippy jimping. Even though it's tiny, I think they just did a really good job at making it sharp. So it bites into your skin, allowing you to front flip it easily. I also love the stonewash. Again, I'm just a sucker for an aggressive stonewash, which I think they did a beautiful job here. But there are the 5 awesome budget knives from Tenable. I'd highly recommend all of these. There's really no major issues with these. And for the price point, I don't think you'll be disappointed. As always, you guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the support. And I will see you guys on the next one.